Another early morning trail talk video. I haven't done one of these in probably 2 months. And if you are coming from my live stream, you're the first ones to see this. You got notified during the live stream, so congratulations and welcome. Today I'm going to show you a new aluminum comp, but it's not the silver men's comp. That didn't get updated. That's still going to stay the same for 2020. But for 2021, the women's aluminum comp got updated. Or rather, this 2021 blue aluminum comp. Show you how this is equipped and the specs that it has, what differs from the 2019 model. This might be a little bit noisier because I'm on a hand gimbal, so my boom mic might have a little buzz to it, but that's what a trail talk video is like, because this, as I mentioned, my early morning trail rides. I just get out and share bike knowledge and bike fun. So here we go. This new blue aluminum comp, an update for 2021, starting at the top with my tape measure, my metric tape measure here, showing 70, which would be 700 millimeters, but have to account or accommodate for the rise there. So the tape measure would go down into that, and that would make these, I believe, 720 millimeter handlebars, which would correspond with the silver 2020 aluminum comp update. Stem length, that looks like it's going to be right about 80 millimeters. So a little longer, I think. Wasn't the 2020 70? I'll get some of the actual specs, along with this head tube angle, which I am 100% convinced, or 99.9% convinced, is 69 degree head tube angle, like the 2020 aluminum comp update. But I'll get all these specs and put them down in the description. They may not be here right away, but I'll get them, and we'll see. For now though, let's talk about the complements. On the handlebars, like the rubber grips, these are slip-ons. We're seeing lock-ons on some of the bikes, but on the aluminum comp, this is the most affordable of these tapered head tube bikes, these updated bikes. Rubber slip-ons. Brake levers are alloy for the mechanical disc brakes, we'll see in a moment. And the shifter, now this I really like. Micro shift, these are micro shift trigger shifters. These are the nice trigger shifters. Let me see if I can get this on camera. They're full thumb. So easy reach. You know, a lot of times it's index finger and thumb, which is fine. But I really like these micro shift. This is a nice setup. And not only that, by the way, there is another shifter there on the other side for the 3-speed. Still trigger on that too. But the thing I really like about these, we used to get the Shimano Easy Fire, which are rock solid. But the brake lever is integrated into the shifter housing. So if you wanted to upgrade one or the other, you had to do them both. In this case, with this setup, if I want to go with hydraulic brakes, I can keep this micro shift shifter, which works pretty well. Talk about that more in a second when we get down to the rest of the drivetrain, but I could keep that, or if I wanted to change out the shifter, if I had maybe an Advent X or something like that, I was upgrading the wheels, I could keep the mechanical disc brakes. It gives me options. And I really like having options, especially on bikes with a 3x7 like this has. Again, we'll see more on that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about this head tube for this aluminum frame, because we know Schwinn has started doing this, the taper, opening up lots of options for people like me and a lot of you that upgrade our bikes. Means we could adapt this to use tapered forks with an internal taper. So true taper style. This fork though, not a taper. As a matter of fact, this is, I don't know, they updated the forks in 2020, and this looks like the fork from 2020, but I don't know if the materials are a little different. Well, let me show you what I mean. It's like there's more flex. Not much more, but a little more. So I don't know why, but that's the fork. It's nothing fancy. Just enough travel to have fun with. I haven't measured this, and I can't remember on the specs. I want to say these were 60 to 80 millimeters on travel, but you can see a decent looking reinforced arch. It looks like the new fork, but this, and it even has the new branding here, where they put 27.5. They started doing this, 29, 27.5. I like that. I also like the quick release front wheel. Very nice. We used to get bolt-on wheels when we got down to these 225, 230, whatever this is going to be for 2021 price-wise. Now the rear wheel is still a bolt-on wheel. I wish they would go quick release here. While I'm here, I might as well look at these brakes. There are the mechanical disc brakes with the 160 millimeter rotors. well, hide and get down here. There we go. There's the Schwinn star. I like that. 160 millimeter rotors, front and rear. And again, the quick release for the front. But these are mechanical. Stop the bike quite well. Sometimes some companies use these off-brand generic brakes and they just don't bite in. All the Schwinns I have really good mechanical disc brakes out of the box. One more look there at that taper. I mean, isn't this special? Because a lot of people bought that 2019 version even up into December. We're buying the technically what's called the women's comp for 2019. And that didn't have the taper in it also. Didn't have rear disc brakes. It had a rim brake for the rear and disc on the front. But now, getting the new tube with this aluminum frame, and the frame sizing on this, 16-inch. I measured it. As a matter of fact, you can see I've got the saddle way up, which kind of looks more mountain bikey, right? With that big seat post. Well, it's not super big seat post. We'll look at the dimensions on it in just a moment. But this frame is a 16-inch. So if you didn't fit the 18-inch aluminum comp, there's now this 16-inch and this paint finish. Absolutely beautiful. The camera never does this justice. I want to call this a sea mist. A sea mist blue, faint green color. But it's actually just a hair darker, I think, and it has this fade. They had the fade for 2020 on the silver comp. Let me back up and show it to you here. So you've got the sea mist blue, green, whatever you want to call it, and then this gray, and these are clear coated over graphics, and then this fade down here. But look how they did that. They lined it in, even coming off the S. Nice little touches there. Off the S to the gray, which finishes off back here with a full gray, and even more of those lined accents. Very nice. And another thing Schwinn has been doing well is the frame. Frame manufacturing. I've been bragging about their good welds. Very nice quality, but I will say a little let down on one area on this bike, right here at the shark fin. Just kind of an ugly weld. I sent them pictures of this, and they sent that on to the factory. Nothing structurally wrong with this, just not this. You want that stacked nickel look. Either way, very strong frames. My aluminum comp, my 2020 Project Comp V2 has held up quite well, and I've ridden the daylights out of that thing. But this new frame, I mean, just look how beautiful this is. Okay, enough about the frame finish. I think you have the point. Let's get down to this drivetrain, which kicks off with polymer Schwinn pedals. This is usual stuff here. 170 millimeter alloy crank arms, the stamped and riveted 3x. A lot of the bikes have got 1x, but this, the cheapest of these tapered head tube designs, stuck with the 3x just to keep costs down. And at the rear, microshift 26C in place of the Tourney. And again, I like that because it gets us these trigger shifters, which are very nice. I've been very happy with these microshift 26Cs. They're not any less noisy than a Tourney. And at this point, the point that I'm filming this, I've only been a little ride around the street and my entry climb up onto the trail to Salvation Bench, so no damage yet to that chainstay. And I think I'm going to take it easy because I have plans for this, as we'll see. But microshift 26C, replaceable derailleur hanger, 14 to 28 tooth freewheel. So no cassette and a 14 to 28 tooth. But again, keeping costs low. So the old 3x, the old 21 speed, more than enough. This is heavy. I don't know the actual weight at the point that I'm filming this because I forgot to weigh it, but I will weigh it before I upload this and put it on the screen for you. The actual weight of the bike, but it was a little tiring to make the climb up the hill, especially since I've been riding e-bikes for the past 5 days. But that's the drivetrain. Oh, forgot this part. I totally forgot to talk about this front derailleur. See, the 1x fever has got me. One of the reasons that I don't like 3x, or I don't prefer 3x, I'll say, it's not that I don't like it, is that I'm just not good with adjusting front derailleurs, and it's just one more thing. One more mechanical component to worry with, and extra weight. But this works fine out of the box. It's shifted through all the gears. So there's that. I'll also mention the cable routing here. Routed underneath the top and down tube. Nice and neatly ran. Wheels on this bike, 27.5. These are double wall alloy. Nice rims. They've used these before. A little heavy, but strong enough. But it's only now that I noticed this graphic. It says Schwinn, but it's cut in half. And I had to go back and look at some other wheels. See that they too were just like that. Somehow all this time I've not noticed that the Schwinn graphic on the rim is half of a Schwinn, with kind of that dual use tread for these 27.5 by 2.20 tires. Not much left here. The saddle Schwinn branded, comfort level not mine. You know, saddles, I don't pick on them much because that's something that's very specific from person to person. This one, it doesn't look bad. It's just not comfortable to me. Seat post, I'll get the dimensions in just a second, but it has a quick release clamp. And for me, it is at its max height. And I don't know how well you can see it, but the measurement's 27.2 diameter. If you want to see down in the frame, there you go. It's down in this aluminum frame. Bottom bracket, nice welding there. You know, there's just that one spot that I didn't like. Nice welding at the bottom bracket. Bracket itself, a cheaper type, but not the cheapest. Definitely not the cheapest, but I usually take these out and replace them, but if I don't, I definitely take them out and lube them, because sometimes there is a little metal shavings down in there. Another look here at that gray, and then that fade up to the blue, just beautiful. Glistens in the sun, and of course, so happy to see this with a tapered head tube. And I would edit in some ride footage here. I may put in just a little bit, a few clips of ride footage, but this frame, it just doesn't fit me all that well. Now a 16-inch frame I can usually kind of deal with, but this seat post, I have it at the max height, and I'm just right there where I feel like I need just about a 1/4 of an inch more of leg extension, but also my reach on this is just doesn't feel in my zone. These bars, the rise on these is a little different than I remember on any of the other comp handlebars. That aside, I am super impressed with this new aluminum comp. Gives so many more options for people. Different size riders now have options, the silver comp or this blue comp, which both are beautiful in my opinion. So whatever fits you, you now get an equal caliber bike. Not to mention how upgradable it now is for people like me. So there you go, a first look at this new 2021 16-inch frame version of the aluminum comp, technically called the women's comp, so if you search for it on the Walmart website, that's how you'll likely find it. See if I can put a link down in the description if it's in stock at the moment. If not, I'll put it in later. But thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're part of my live crew, what we tentatively call the XR Pros, thank you for being the first ones to watch this. And for everyone that watches this, thank you. I hope you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you have that notification bell active, especially so you can catch the next live stream and get informed when there's secret videos or new release videos like this. Thanks for watching KevCentral, and have a great day.